Pay Your People Better, April 21st, 2026. Yeah, come on. Get in there. Come on. You know you can do it. Boom. There you are. So I decided to make some just the traditional cold brew, because what I've decided to do in the fridge at the moment is let the old cold brew mix with the newer, less concentrated version, because I poured in some more water. So I'm just going to let it sit there and just kind of soak. It's been doing that. This will be the second day in a row it's doing that. Oh yeah, I set the timer. Because today I got to take a shower so I can get ready to go to physical therapy. One might be saying, why would you take a shower before you go and get sweaty and the like? It's like, because I haven't taken a shower in like 3 days. Because I'm lazy, disgusting, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't matter. Okay, so what am I trying to do? Trying to make cold brew. Brain. Sometimes my brain doesn't work so brain. To quote Ryan George. Okay. Now that I have the other funnel, I can sometimes see the value in using this funnel. So like, for instance, one of the things that I'm thinking of is potentially, like, okay, for instance, when I want to make the new eggnog, because I need to finish up the old eggnog and then I need to make a new one, and basically put that in. You put the new eggnog in one of the bigger mason jars. And in so doing, it will be kind of difficult to use the normal funnel that I have. But, you know, this funnel here would do the work. So, why not, right? Throw that out soon. So yeah, I mean, you know, I've got a wide mouth funnel, and then I've got a narrow mouth funnel, basically. So that'll make things kind of easy. And then we'll just dump this water that's already in here. Get stirring in a second. And I've made rice and I've made lentils in the Instant Pot. I think I fucked them both up. Both attempts at the lentils. Because the first one, I don't think I put it on high enough pressure. Or I just misread what the lentils looked like when I opened it. Because it looked like it was still, had quite a bit of water left. So I started heating it up again, and then it overcooked them. So that wasn't good. And then the second time around, I released the pressure basically right when they were supposed to start cooking. So that was a problem. They came out fine-ish. Like, they were a little on the tougher side. I wanted them to be a little on the creamier side, but whatever. And with the rice, I think I may have left the vent open. And so it kind of cooked like the rice cooker cooks in a way, I guess. I don't know. They're kind of on the mushier side is the only problem. I also let it sit forever because I was like, I don't know if this still has too much pressure or not. Because the pressure valve would not, it wouldn't release. And I was like, well, fuck. I don't want it to explode on me or anything. So, you know, just a little bit of trial and error with new technology, new device that I've never used before, especially one that, you know, while the safety mechanisms on it are much better than the older versions, you know, I'm still a bit of a Still a bit of a coward in that regard, so. Yeah, alright. Alright. Chew it there. The bidet is working out great. The shower pressure, the hot water pressure is not great. It's not a good sign. Last time I took a shower, it started off great, and then it just went to shit for like 20 minutes. Felt like 20 minutes anyway. And then it came back right at the end. And I'm like, motherfucker, make up your goddamn mind. And that's been my issue with it for the most part, is that it just, and the funny thing is, last night I was going to take a shower, and then I had just basically forgotten. But the hot water pressure out of here was like high. It was weirdly high. And I should have taken a shower then, but I don't know how long that lasted. That's one of the problems with it too. It's like, it's so finicky that I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know how long the water pressure is going to last, because like, it makes taking a shower just more of a pain in the ass. Salt here. Speaking of salt, pressure, popcorn. Popcorn situation is still not great, because it's not. I've only done the one, but this is like the amount of popcorn that I can pop without it getting crazy. But I also made the two breads. Oh yeah, speaking of those, I have to get their respective containers, check them, deflate them, so they don't like try to make a mess in the fridge and then ruin themselves. Yeah, the popcorn situation, like, once I get into a position where I'm gonna like eat more popcorn, which will probably be after all this PT's done. Then I'm just gonna only buy popcorn from Food for Less in the bigger boxes, because it ends up being like roughly 40 cents a package. And it's just, you know, it's nice and self-contained and all that stuff. I don't have to worry about measuring it out and going through the whole cooking process and stuff. So it's just going to be easier on me. I think tonight I'm going to cook up one of these other pitas. It ends up being more like a flatbread than a pita, because it doesn't puff up. It has like some puffiness to it, but not much. Yeah, let's do the actual bread. And the funny thing is, I think it's too, like, the version I have, because I screwed up the measurements. I flipped them around, or I just didn't measure correctly on one, and then I forgot, because I had, what had happened was, I put in too much water first, because I was about to put in 500 grams of water for the pita measurements, right? And it's supposed to be 500 grams of bread flour and 300 grams of water. So what it ended up doing was, I was in the process of trying to dump in 500 grams of water, and I ended up with 400. And so in the process of that, I was like, okay, well, let's just do the math. Let's adjust the flour as needed. Problem is I put in the wrong amount, because I had done the math mentally and then I added it, And then I basically then I added it to the 300 grams of flour that I was going to try to put in there, not the 500. So I added the right ratio to the wrong starter amount. The whole thing got fucked up. So it is what it is. I just got to move on from there. Hold on a second. I feel like I'm missing something in here. Oh, that's probably where it's at. Very good. Let me check something here. I just need to taste something to make sure it's the right thing. It tastes like it's the buttermilk, which is weird. Okay. Well, there's a reason why, I'm sure. Probably because since that's the oldest thing of milk that I have, I have to throw this one out. It smells sour. Oh well. Just have to drink the rest of that. Throw out this container. It's just sour. Doesn't taste like say kill me or anything. So last night when I made a shake, and then I dumped in some more milk to kind of clean up the shake and have a little bit of extra milk in my day. I was like, these berries seem a little sour for having been frozen. And then I started thinking later, I was like, maybe it's the milk. Whatever. If it doesn't kill me, then whatever. It might make me miserable. Yeah, the whole, what is it? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger mentality. That's bullshit. That's nonsense. Reality is more like what doesn't kill you gets stronger, evolves, and then tries to kill you again. Yeah, so still got some dishes I gotta clean up. I gotta cook my chicken too. The fridge is very full at the moment, so it's more or less ready to just put lentils and rice, and beans and rice and bacon together, and so that I have plenty of foodstuffs for dinner ready. And then I also have some hard-boiled eggs that are ready for snacking, and then I have the blender plus milk and some heavy cream so that I can make some more shakes. Because that's pretty much what my week is going to be. Because I got a busy week this week now. Because I've got today for the physical therapist. Tomorrow I've got to go to Arcadia to actually see my psychiatrist, pretty much for the first time in person, if not the first time. Pretty sure it is. And then on Thursday, I've got an early day where I got to go back to the primary care physician for a follow-up to labs and stuff. And then physical therapy again on Thursday. So at some point I got to hit up my old mailbox, because while I'm not paying for it currently, because I've already paid for it, I've got to make sure I'm not really getting any mail for them. I've got to start figuring out all the places, because I haven't gotten really much mail from anywhere, but I got to make sure that I'm not getting any mail there. And if I do get anything from anywhere, be like, oh yeah, okay, let's change that out, stuff like that, so that I don't have to worry about that thing not getting sent or whatever. It would be nicer to keep it,
to have just a spare mailbox, but I don't have the money for that at the moment. I would say for most people, it is a good idea to just have your own mailbox, just a mailbox that's not your house. Just because like it's nice to have that extra thing, you know. Like, sure, most of the stuff you want sent to your house, but sometimes it's like, okay, maybe it's good to have, like, you know, it almost like a junk mailbox in a sense. But, so, like, you know, how you'll have a junk email account sometimes, you know, it has it'll have a spam folder or whatever. And so it's essentially you can kind of use it like that with the real world stuff. Oop. And so, yeah, it's just like, it's good to have it. And especially if, like, you need something sent to the mailbox that's not, like, time sensitive, but still good to having it sent. And it's like, yeah, I'll be over there in the area, whatever, like on a Tuesday or something kind of stuff. But it is what it is. You know, it's just like, I'm going to check that at some point just to see. Because then also, if you start moving, for instance, it's also good to have the mailbox so that when you move, you can just like have everything sent to that mailbox first. And then when you're done moving and everything, you're not worrying about all the old stuff going to your old place. It's still going to the place that you've had established with the specific mailbox. And then once you're effectively settled into your new place, then you can start getting your mail back at the new place and stuff like that. So, I mean, you know, if there's a practical matter, and then of course, like if let's say, you know, you're reasonably a celebrity of some kind and, you know, people start sending you stuff, you don't want them to send it to your house, you want to send it to some other place. So like if let's say you start Twitch streaming or something, you start getting big and, you know, that's when you want to open up an actual mailbox. Stuff like that is also a reason for it as well. But like, there's a reason why other mailboxes, just specific mailboxes, are still a good idea anyway. You know, it's like when it comes to getting stuff shipped to you that isn't like time sensitive, like I was saying, even with mail, whatever. It's just like, yeah, okay, cool. You know, for instance, let's say you're getting married. It's actually going to be better if you get everything sent to a mailbox. Because first of all, unless you've been living at the same place the whole time, before getting married, like what, you know, it's like if you and your partner have been engaged, now you're getting married, and you're going to be moving in somewhere soon after the fact, you know, depending on your logistical circumstances, of course. If there is some transition that's likely to happen when it comes to your living space, then it's a good place to have a mailbox for everybody to send their stuff. Because you don't know when they're going to send it either. And so if you don't have the new address or, you know, just whatever the circumstances may be, you can just open up a mailbox and be like, this is where the registry is located, send it all there. And then on top of that too, let's say you go to the mailbox and there's like 5 or 6 things that people have sent you through the registry. You can be like, oh, okay, well, we got that. You know, it's like whatever the situation is, now they're kind of slowly trickling in, so you can start placing them where they are instead of having them all in a mass, you know, not only in a mass at your spot, but also in a mass just sort of delivery while you're dealing with the moving and the changing of your life when you're getting married and stuff. So having a mailbox, I'm not giving out the greatest reasons, because I mean, having a side mailbox for most people isn't going to seem normal or even useful. But having been homeless and having had time where I'm not in the same place for an extended period of time for one reason or another, it is good to have, you know, that extra area. So I'm gonna go. Gotta get ready. Gotta shower. I'm gonna have to use my bidet at some point. Happy Earth Day tomorrow. I might actually upload a video tomorrow. I might not, depending when I have to leave and when I have to wake up. So, yeah. Have fun.